Sonakshi Sinha, good to see you in yet another virtual interview.
Thank you. Good to be back.
Yeah, good. Are you now, have you come to terms with the fact that, okay, this is how interviews are going to be for God knows how long?
I'm quite happy about it, to be honest. Because I don't have to get ready and personally go somewhere and just do the whole thing that we used to do for promotions.
Yeah,
it's actually really hectic. Promoting a film is way more hectic than shooting a film.
I mean, I always said this. Is this easier now because no malls and going to different cities and going to malls and just huge crowds?
You can do everything from the comfort of your home now. It's all become digital. So I'm actually, if you ask me, I'm quite happy about it.
That's great. No, we are happy to, as long as we get to chat with you. Firstly, you believe there are a lot of stories in India and so many stories where women played such an important part. Aren't we glad that we are putting it out there for a new generation to see all this?
Absolutely. And these are stories that, really need to be put out there because they need to be known. They are such brave women. And, honestly, when I heard the story, the sole reason for me to do this film was, wow, that I would get to portray such a woman on screen.
Right.
And she has been a part of our history, a very important history, the War of 1971, which she contributed to, in a way, the victory of our country. So for me to be able to portray a woman like that on screen was, I felt like I hit the jackpot.
Right. For the audience who may not know this history, Sonakshi, can you give us a brief idea on what they did exactly at a time when 71, where they were, today they have sophisticated equipment to build a runway?
Absolutely. I think, so the runways were destroyed obviously by the Pakistani planes, and the Indian Air Force had very slight hope. That's when Captain Vijay Karnik came to this village, and this village, just to give you some trivia about it, was there were 300 women. The men of the village would leave the country and go and work in South Africa and places like that to earn money for their families and send it over. So this village mostly had women, children, and senior citizens. So when Captain Vijay Karnik came to Sundarban, she kind of rose up to the occasion. They didn't have the means, they didn't have the resources. She said, "I'll do it. I'll gather all the women of the village," and they were mostly, homemakers and took care of their families, took care of the elders, took care of the children. Literally did not have the means and resources, and they came together to build this runway in a matter of 2 or 3 nights. They couldn't work in the day because every time the planes would fly over and they saw them working, they would destroy the runway again. So they literally had to work just in the nights, literally overnight, not eating, not sleeping. They would tie their children and make hammocks for them at the site, so that they could keep them under their vigilance. And it was bizarre. Like, when you think of the story, it sounds so unreal, but it was actually done. And what really got me was that, like I said, they didn't have the resources. These women actually broke their homes and used the stones from their houses to build the runway for the country. And that's how we won the war. I think that's a tremendous story that needs to be out there. I mean, guts. It takes some kind of guts to be able to break your own house to something like that. Yeah.
Right, this was a less information age. Today we have more information age. You think Desh Prem really had another meaning at that time?
Yeah, I think at that point of time, the circumstances were also such. I feel today, country has progressed. We're way more peaceful as a world, not only as a country. So I think the opportunities to show that kind of patriotism presented themselves at that point of time. Now it obviously, according to the times, has a different meaning.
Right.
People have evolved, nations have evolved, our country has evolved. We are more peace loving than anything else. So definitely, if I feel like if we were ever, God forbid, put into a circumstance like that, I feel people would rise to the occasion even now.
Right. No, you're absolutely right. Times are different, and the opportunity to show that kind of, it was a different day and age. Where did you all shoot this? It looks very real what you all are doing in the trailer. I've not seen the film; it's not seen it yet. But where did you all shoot all this?
So we did go to Bhuj to shoot,
Okay.
and coincidentally, I'm going to be in Bhuj while the film releases. It's so bizarre.
Right.
Like, we shot the film in Bhuj. Now when it's releasing, I find myself back in Bhuj. So yeah, and most of it was shot in Hyderabad. Most of the indoor sequences was shot in Hyderabad as well. So we went to quite a few places.
Right. Sometimes is it you just sold to the one-liner, the concept of it in a case like this?
There's a bit of trivia that comes with this as well. This particular role, I feel was written for me because it had come to me as a standalone film twice before. It came to me as Bhuj. And for some reason, I wasn't able to do it. One film never really took off. One film I couldn't do because of dates, and then they never ended up making it. And the same role of Sundarben was presented to me in the form of Bhuj as well. And that's when I was like, you know what, this role is written for me. I have to do it now. So I feel like I got third time lucky, and truly lucky. I would say I'm the lucky one because, to be able to portray a character like this, such a strong personality, such a brave personality on screen, a real life hero on screen. For me, I think I hit the jackpot. Yeah.
Do you believe, in stories like this, where there's a lot of nationalism, where there's a lot of heroic scenes, this ideal place would have been a cinema hall where people watch it together?
Yes, for sure. I mean, nothing can beat the theater experience, going and watching a film on a big screen, especially a film like this, a film of this scale, of this magnitude. A theater experience would have been ideal. But obviously, we are in a certain circumstance where we have no choice. So, and we want to get as many people to watch this film as possible. So the next best option right now is to put it on OTT, because it was supposed to release in 2020, but that didn't happen. We shouldn't wait any longer because it's a beautiful story. It's a film a story that really needs to be told. This year happens to be coincidentally the 50th year of our victory of 1971. So I think it's the perfect time to put it out there so that people can watch it.
Right. What I wanted to ask you is an OTT release less stressful? Because there's so many things that are cut off, like, the first day collections, going to the, people coming out of the cinema and saying anything on camera. Are these things off your back and off your chest?
It's all a part and parcel of the process of filmmaking. I mean, if you make a film, people will have an opinion. If you do a certain number, but that's just how it is. So it's unnecessary, taking stress for it for no reason makes no sense to me. But I mean, all that is cut off. It's directly into people's houses, homes. You can sit and watch it with your family. You cannot watch it if you don't want to. So that option is there for you. Which was always there, even in the theaters.
It's always there, right?
But nobody's really going and trashing it and banning it after watching it.
Right.
So, I mean, that's a good thing. It can only be a good thing.
Right. One thing that, you've experienced on an OTT release when people calling from other countries, people watching it at the same time in many places, any of that must be exciting.
It's very exciting, actually. You're reaching out to a global audience, right? You're widening your horizon.
Right.
So I think that also can only be a good thing.
Right.
We watch so many shows and so many movies that are not even in our language.
Yes.
And the good part is that now we're opening it out to a way bigger audience.
Right.
Than would have just been watching a Hindi film, for example, in theaters. So I think it can only be a good thing.
It's looking very exciting. So can't wait to watch it. And I want to ask you, since you mentioned, what are you shooting in Bhuj?
I'm shooting a film for RSVP. Actually, it's my first horror comedy that I'm doing, and I'm very, very excited about it. It's shoot is going great. So yeah, really looking forward to it.
Are you an audience for horror comedy and horror?
I was just telling my director, we were having this conversation last night. We're shooting nights. So I was having this conversation with him yesterday.
Right.
I told him, I was like, I cannot believe that I'm doing a horror film because I don't even watch horror films.
Or a comedy you can watch, right?
So we were laughing about it, but the script of this one was so interesting and so it just gripped me. I was like, I have to do this. By hook or by crook, I'll somehow muster up the courage
to watch it
and just do it.
Right. Also, since I've got time from you, Sonakshi, I want to ask you, people have done exciting things and creative things in the lockdown. I saw some of your amazing paintings that you've put out. I went on, since you put it up on your Instagram, I saw and I searched. Could you tell the audience about it if they want to buy? What exactly is this initiative?
Absolutely. So we just launched a platform for artists of all, from any walk of life. Actually, you can be established, you can be brand new like me.
Right.
So basically it's a platform where artists can come and sell their works, showcase their works to the world, and you reach out to a very wide audience, like how OTT platforms are doing.
Right.
And we are very happy to collaborate with some wonderful artists. Right now we have started with 30, and their works are up on the House of Creativity, so you can check it out, you can buy, you can choose from different sizes, different mediums. There's photographs, there's art, there's acrylics on canvas, there's oil on canvas, there's sketches that you can choose from. So various different mediums of art that we put out there, and it's for all art lovers. So, and I sold my very first painting.
Congratulations!
Like very recent.
Oh, nice. Was that the Ganpati? Was that the beautiful Ganpati?
It was the Ganpati, the big one.
Yes, right. Lockdown and time at hand made you do these interesting things?
It just freed up a lot of time. Yes. I won't lie about it. And I did go back to a lot of things that I had kind of put on the back burner because of my work, because of my, commitments. So yeah, I was truly happy to have that free time, open up and reconnect with something that is so important to me, and had kind of taken the back seat. So the lockdown did do some good.
Great. So good luck with Bhuj, another feather on your cap, and this will reach places as we discuss. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you so much. Always a pleasure talking to you.